All right, welcome into this week's edition of the Washington Huddle Web Extra. I'm Craig Loper. He is Scott Jackson, Commanders post-game show radio host and the host of the Scott Jackson Show. Here we go. Commanders, Week 15, heading out west to face the LA Rams. A lot to get to here, Scott. Starting with the Commanders offense. There's just been a lot of, sometimes it's looked good, explosive yardage-wise, but sometimes we're questioning sort of Eric Bieniemy, what his plan is, too many dropbacks. There has to be more production from your stars, and he's got to force it. That's what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Terry McLaurin get more involved. For whatever reason, he hasn't been this year, isn't at a 100-yard game yet. Jahan Dotson, some weeks he doesn't even see the ball come his way. And then there's Brian Robinson, who is very good when they give him the football and is running with a lot of purpose. And, he's trucking guys. He's aggressive, strong guy, but just doesn't get enough opportunities. No 100-yard games here this season. They're very pass-happy with a bad offensive line. Doesn't really make out to be a good recipe for a young quarterback who has a problem protecting himself at times, too, because he holds the football too long. So I'd like to see them be a little bit more balanced these last few weeks, in particular this week.
NFL draft nerds out there already looking ahead to next April, the 2024 draft. Commanders, they're locked in with the top 5 pick right now. That could go up, that could go down, depending on the last 4 weeks of the season, how they go here. You're convinced they need to take a tackle. I say you take a quarterback if you're in the top 5 and you believe in him, but it's primarily going to depend on the GM that gets hired. That is going to be the key piece. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's in the eye of the beholder. But, yeah, they need a left tackle. If you're going to say Sam Howell's your quarterback next year, take a left tackle. Maybe even trade back if you're at 3 or whatever, and if you really believe in Howell. Do it that way. But, yeah, I mean, if it's a new general manager and they don't believe in Sam Howell, you're right. I mean, they're probably in the quarterback market. Maybe Drake May or Jaden Daniels. I don't think they're going to be bad enough, and I don't think the Panthers are going to win another game to knock the Bears out of the top spot, unless you want to trade up for Caleb Williams, which you could do. You could do it. DC kid, it would be quite something. If they did it, there's no doubt it would sell tickets, but I don't know if that's necessarily your goal. Your goal is to be as good a football team as you can be. I don't know if they should be giving away picks because they really need all of them. I mean, they really need all of them. There's a lot of areas of need. They've created needs on defense with what they did in the trade deadline, and clearly the offensive line needs to be rebuilt.
Some of the headlines from earlier in the season, I don't know if Caleb Williams and his dad want to come back home.
Right.
Based on some of the things.
Sure. That's the other thing you got to find out.
That were out there. Yeah. Like, would they be willing to do that? Also, moving forward here, some names fans need to keep an eye out for. If we're assuming Ron Rivera is a lame duck the last 4 weeks of the season and he will be fired on Black Monday, that happens around the NFL every year, names that fans need to look out for possible head coach replacements.
Well, I mean, certainly, you're going to hear the Johnsons' names, Brian and Ben Johnson, the coordinators of the Lions and the Eagles. Shane Waldron, the Seahawks offensive coordinators, may get a lot of run. I mean, look, Dan Quinn, I know you just had a defensive coach, right? Why go back there? Well, because Dan Quinn's the best defensive coach in the NFL right now. That's why. And it would also hurt the Cowboys. So that would be something you would have to look at. But again, for me, I don't want to do it reverse. I want them to hire a general manager first. That person then sets the tone on where the coaching search is going to begin. Whether they're going to go swing at Jim Harbaugh if he's still available at that point. Whether you want to trade for Bill Belichick or try to trade for Mike Tomlin or whoever. I mean, you want to try that. But the GM really has to set the stage for that. They've got to get the front office straightened out because what they're doing right now didn't work with Ron Rivera, being the coach-centric guy in charge.
I can only imagine Jim Harbaugh, Washington Commanders head coach. I want it just for the drama and the story and the headlines, everything that comes with that. All right, that has been this week's Washington Huddle Web exclusive. I'm Craig Loper. He is Scott Jackson. Only a few more weeks left in the season. It's going fast. We'll see you next time.